Hello there, Honorary Knight and the Helper in White.
It's so nice to meet you, Honorary Knight and Lady Paimon. Glenfidia, at your service.
Looks like you're in a good mood, Hertha. And nice to meet you, Glenfidia. By the looks of things...
Indeed. Thanks to some help from the Angel's ship. Besides all the classics, we...
Cocktail! Do you remember that time we served as bartenders at the Angel's Share? And recently, you've also shown off your skills at the flagship in Nokrai. We sure have come a long way, huh?
The only thing is, our current drink selection is quite traditional, and it stopped feeling fresh long before the expedition began. But I need to get back to handling resident requests. And Honorary Knight, if you're free...
You'll be amply compensated, of course, plus double pay for overtime, depending on your performance metric.
Paimon's not sure what performance as the best guide into that. Paimon needs to keep up with the changing times.
Work.
I'll do my best to support Lady Paimon in...
All right. Well, if...
Oh my, it looks like Hertha has gone back to her duties, and Glenfidia is away somewhere too. Has our dear cutie taken Wonderful. Now I can order without worrying about ending up with one of the logistics company's specials. The type of drink that keeps you awake all night, leaving you no choice but to pass the time working. That's right, I'm just a carefree If only there weren't so many people with overdue books, and I didn't have to go door to door to get them back. I would have dropped by to chat. Let me think. I don't really have... And if it could help me nod off to sleep later, that would be
Here's a snow-kissed dawn. I hope you like it.
It's delicious, cutie. Pleasantly tart, sweet, but not cloying, smooth on the palate, with a refreshing aftertaste. If anything, though, I seem to be feeling a little more, and perhaps you've unwittingly unraveled Glenfiddia's secret and concocted an even more effective pick-me-up? Don't worry, there's no rush. Let's chat for a while. Take your time. Since you're asking, it's been a bit of an... There's a chef, fresh out of training in Fontaine, who's recently taken up a position at the Goth Grand Hotel. She borrowed our most valuable book, the Mondstadt Millennial Compendium of Desserts. Apparently, she plans to use dessert-making techniques to improve the taste of various savory dishes. Something about reducing their greasiness. Indeed, and judging by the results, she rather overdid it with the caramel sauce. What should have been fragrant meat slices ended up... Caramel sauce is such a fantastic ingredient, you know? It never fails to please when improving food, I suppose, isn't always about being as creative as... Oh, this? That was for another of... A large contingent of the expedition team will be returning to Mondstadt soon. They've been away for such a... Jean asked me to visit some of their families to try and get a better understanding of what new ingredients... Well, they've all devoted their blood, sweat, and based on what I gathered, the most requested ingredient was cacahuatl from Natlan. It seems like in their letters, many of them mention that they rely on cocoa to keep themselves energized. I've tried hot cocoa myself. Lately? So careful with your wording, cute. Is that because you think that I, too, might have changed since we last met? Or simply because you can't remember? Not bad at all. Back in my student days, I might have been drawn to every new and exciting ingredient. To paraphrase a certain Leowed legal expert, my life is fast approaching a state of living out one's golden years in peace and comfort. I'm sure you remember, a few years ago, when we were adventuring together. Well, my tastes... Surely you're not suggesting I'd take this opportunity to sneak off on... My investigations into Mondstadt's lesser-known drinks took me to Dawn Winery. On my way back, I ran into Emmetall out on patrol. She'd encountered... I accompanied her on a detour to Wolvendam to teach some raving hounds a lesson. It's been a while since I've had such an... As expected, cutie, your brilliant mind has grown even
Finished. A new creation, custom made for you. This should help you fall asleep quickly and guarantee you peaceful dreams. It's called a slumbering rose.
From the colors to the choice of glass, everything's been carefully crafted. You've turned it into a completely different drink. Based purely on appearance, it's exactly my style. Time to see how it tastes. Full marks. It's like savoring an exquisite dessert before taking a stroll along the shore of Cider Lake. With a gentle breeze I no longer feel drained of energy, but I'm actually starting to so good, in fact, that I feel like writing an article to extol the virtues of this slumbering. Speaking of lakeside strolls, why don't you join me next time there's any walk would be more relaxing? Then, when we get back, you could fix me up another glass of slumbering. And when the time comes, I won't accept any excuse.
I do hope the Knights of Favonius are all working.
Good afternoon, traveler. I didn't expect the honor of witnessing your harmonizing talents here in Mondstadt. Both, actually. A lady calling herself a mage asked me to come manage her flower shop. At about the same time, the Cat's Tail commissioned me to create a new fragrance for their ending today's busy schedule with a drink crafted by you in person is truly a wonderful reward. I have faith in your choice.
Care to give this a try, Miss Emily?
Your artistry is true. This tastes like a local variant of a Lumideuse Twilight. The gentle and elegant taste, with its distinct layers combined with a hint of Mondstadt's characteristic scent, offers quite a welcoming flavor, all the while avoiding potentially discordant aromas, though in reality, there's no need for you to be so conservative. I have quite a high tolerance for flavors that stray outside the boundaries of conventional wisdom. Your drink was nice, but it would be perfect if you could make one with a little more depth. A cocktail that shows off your unique understanding and enhances my impression of Mondstadt. If you need time to mull things over, perhaps you might find inspiration in a little light conversation? Oh, thank you for asking. It's been going well, though this trip to Mondstadt has presented some... When I first got here, I was relying on a copy of An Overview of Aromatic Substances and the Human Senses to identify promising local ingredients from them. To my surprise, my trial fragrance, which used valberry as the primary note, proved far too sweet in the context of a tavern, relaxing people so much that let's just say that sweetness isn't always a case of the more the merrier. Maintaining inappropriate even in daily life. I rarely eat sweet food, and I try to. In the end, I completely eliminated valberry as an ingredient and turned instead to windwheel aster, with some success, I might add. They're part of my reward from the flower shop owner. Important ingredients for making perfumes. Thanks to these, I was able to complete my commission for the cat's tail. I studied Mondstadt's Cecilia flowers many years ago. In fact, the fragrance of Cecilia in certain fields. However, this is a special case. Some cats are quite averse to the scent of Cecilia. Windwheel aster. The various parts of the windwheel aster plant can be ground into a powder to extract their essences. I then blended the scents from its petals and leaves. The result carries the intoxicating sweetness of mead, while still emphasizing the fresh notes contained within the flower's stems and leaves. I just took it for a little trial run at the cat's tail, and the cats seemed to really like it, while the clients themselves found it comforting and invigorating. Extracting exquisite fragrances from ordinary overlooked ingredients? Oh, that's what truly brings me joy. It really is. A while earlier, I watched a whole run of fair weather clouds float by, fluffy as pillows. It's not overly humid either, and the wind is gentle too. In such conditions, one's sense of smell is heightened, but not to an excessive degree. When scents are blended well, they naturally combine with the ambient context, leaving particularly powerful impressions. It seems something similar is true for mixology. As long as you choose a base of appropriate strength, the various flavors will blend seamlessly together. When mixed properly, all the ingredients work as one to create a most wonderful symphony for your taste buds. Yes, that's it. Now I think about it, layering distinct flavors doesn't really suit my personal preferences. Usually, after work, my friends from the Maison Gardiennage sometimes treat me to a few drinks. I usually stick to fruit tea. That way, I can get straight back to work after our gatherings. If it's before a holiday and my friends are in high spirits, I sometimes order a small glass of sparkling fruit wine. There was an officer named Terena who used to treat me to aged Corte wine. But since she was transferred to the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, we haven't had the chance. In the world of science, high-proof alcohol is a widely used solvent. I've grown well accustomed to the smell of it by now. Besides, when I'm slightly tipsy, my state of mind changes, which in turn alters my approach to perfumes. It doesn't matter if the result is good or bad, it's all about trying something new. So I don't mind drinks with just a little bit of alcohol, but I don't like anything too strong. Just from our brief chat, perhaps you possess a natural talent.
Here you go. A new and improved Emily-inspired Lumidouce Twilight. I haven't come up with a name for it yet.
The colors are cooler and more refreshing. and the fragrance is delightfully subtle to match. Are these bright specks on the surface the crushed petals and leaves of windwheel asters? I'm sure it must taste wonderful. Let me try. In the language of flowers, the windwheel aster represents the visible winds. Your cocktail not only captures their form, but therefore, I suggest you call this drink Windborne Bouquet. The winds and clouds of Mondstadt swirl together in the glass. Really? Oh, perhaps it's just a habit of... Now it's time to slowly sip. Thank you so much. This is the most memorable cocktail. Once I get back to Fontaine, I will attempt to recreate this moment as both a fragrance and a perfume. Once I've perfected the recipes, I hope you'll do me the honor of being the first customer to experience these new products. Until then, I look forward to seeing you in the court of Fontaine.
It's time to move on. We shouldn't stay here.